Toesies.
Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, 12 noon on Saturday in Hong Kong, and 6 a.m. on Saturday in Germany. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for joining us on Friday the 13th. At least it is here. Your lucky day. At least it is here.
I figure everyone thinks it's lucky. The luck has to go somewhere, so I take it.
All right, so our topic tonight is air and space shows. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. An air and space show is a public event where air and spacecraft are exhibited. They often include aerobatic demonstrations. Air and space shows are a place to look at interesting tech and gather with like-minded people. We'll point out several shows and guides for those shows so you can find one near you as well. And please share your go-to shows or sites to help everyone out. Have you ever been to an air and space show? What's your favorite and why? Would you like to go to an air and space show if you have not already? Inquiring minds, you know. Jeff, what do you have for us?
Well, bunch of air and space shows. First one, in fact, if you could show.
Sure.
Here we go. This is actually a picture from the 1909 Paris Air Show, although they didn't actually call it the Air Show until 1912. At least that's
did
what
they call it something before that?
I don't know. I wasn't able to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the World's Fair, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
But then they held it annually, and I liked these images, so I figured,
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and there's another one that shows up better. I don't like it as much because they.
It's more colorful.
It's much more colorful, but they basically did some manipulation on it to make it look more modern.
Yeah,
and
that's okay.
It's 1909. It doesn't need to look modern to me.
Got it.
But and just some more images from there. Just take a look. I love images like this. And again, another one from the same.
They're different points of view, though.
Yeah.
From the same.
Yeah. Just looking at the vehicles in there, I think one's coming from, we're looking at it this direction, and then that direction was like this. So we're, it's just two different directions down the hall. I just love this hallway.
Got it. Did you figure out where that was in Paris? Maybe the building's gone now. Paris. Okay. Good.
Yeah. And here's just a bunch of more pictures from there. I love this stuff. So this was the first one I showed simply because it's the first one that we can pretty much identify as an air show. And this is the Oshkosh Air Show, which is probably the best known modern, at least in the U.S. It's the best known in the U.S.
Yeah.
Probably,
by the most people, I think is.
Yeah, and it's probably, I think, the biggest.
Okay.
And again, this one is just an air show. I tried to find a bunch of air and space shows, but hey, air shows are nice. Oh, hey, hi, Cliff.
Hi, Cliff. Hi, Paulo. Thanks for
Paulo.
joining us. Awesome. Glad you could be here.
Yeah.
And we were wondering if you'd been to a space show and which ones you liked, that kind of thing.
Yep. And then here's the Paris Air Show. This is what it looks like nowadays.
Oh, wow. Big difference.
Yeah. So, from some balloons in a hallway to just basically. And of course, you can't see an air show on here without some image of some formation flying.
Right. Boy, the tech has really changed, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And this is the Ellsworth show. This actually showed up as an air and space show.
Mm.
And so this is the first one I actually found. And it's also starts tomorrow.
Oh.
If you happen to be in, I think it's North or South Dakota, one of the two.
One of the Dakotas, okay.
One of the Dakotas. So if you're nearby or can get there really fast, apparently it's free to attend, but I guess parking is a problem because they offer $30 round trip parking.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can park somewhere and they'll take you.
Got it.
But so just a lot of the U.S. air shows take place on military bases.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Although I remember, of course, I'm originally from Ohio. We had them at, well, basically the airport, the Burke Lakefront Airport. In fact, I remember my daughter, she was there with me, I don't know, 8 to 10 years old. We got to this helicopter and all these kids were in a big line and they got in, they got out, that, one after the other. And then, she got in and she sat there for half an hour looking at all the things, and all these kids were waiting until they figured out they'd go to the other side. She was the only kid who basically just spent her time looking at everything inside.
Mm-hmm.
She still kind of got that fascination today.
Yeah. And, and we had air shows in our local airport. I mean, it's 400 some foot runway, which,
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a small airport, right?
Yeah. 130 meter, I think, is the close equivalent of that airport. So light aircraft only. We had one turboprop that went numbers to numbers on that runway when it was landing. But we had an air show.
Cool.
And, yeah.
I'm very curious about air shows in other countries. Of course, we saw the Paris one, but when you were looking at, and I looked too, I didn't really see anything much in other places. So it will be really curious to get more information about that.
Yeah, we saw a number of calendars for air and space shows, one of which was an international calendar.
Yeah.
Which is nice, except I didn't see anything on it except stuff in the U.S. So,
okay.
So that's not very international, but hey, but we'll see that later. It's, it's a resource for, those are resources for finding air shows near you. I'd love to see if anyone has a list or something outside the U.S. I did find a list for Canadian.
Oh, cool.
But for most of the world, it might as well be the U.S. Most of the world.
I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure that there are, and I know that other countries do air shows, but I wasn't able to find any with my Google search, which probably Google knows that I'm in the U.S., so they're calling. Oh.
And Paolo says they don't have any in Brazil.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. Yeah, I mean, the Paris Air Show certainly should be showing up on those lists, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it doesn't.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And
anyone else, let us know. I know, Cliff, you're in Australia. If you've got air shows there, even if you just know about them, you haven't been to them, we'd love to know more about that.
Yeah, I would think that anywhere in South America, Brazil would have them. Just because, that's the biggest country down there.
Could be. Yeah. Paolo's there, though, and he says no.
Yep.
What else you got for us?
Oh, Central Florida Air and Space Show. So, again, this one's in October. So, if you have any interest in or capability of getting down there, this was October last year. So, it might not be going this year.
Well, they generally do show up the same time each year. Like, I know the one out here is in August.
Right.
Pretty much every year. I mean, well, it's a couple exceptions recently, but.
Yeah, I just missed that this was in 21. So, might not be doing it this year. A lot of them gave them a pass for this year.
Okay. Hi, Dave. Welcome.
Oh.
Visiting the U.S. quite a few years back, I went to the Cocoa Beach Air Show. It takes place on Cocoa Beach in Brevard County, Florida. I wonder if that's this one, the Central Florida. And attracts thousands of visitors every year. Yeah, some of them can. And Cliff goes on to say they have an air show at the airbase at Amberley Air Base, Queensland, and is a huge show. And have seen the Blue Angels at the opening of the cool Blue Angels. And I think the Blue Angels, and what's the other one? They trade off sometimes. I remember in Ohio, it would be the Blue Angels one year, and then the Thunderbirds, right?
Thunderbirds, yes.
The next year, and they would just trade off. So, okay, so New Brisbane Airport. So airports, Air Force bases, those seem to be the most common places you're going to find an air show. And Dave comes back with, we absolutely loved it. Low flyovers, the crowd on the beach. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you can just, your whole body can, tell, you can feel your body vibrating from them going by if they're close enough.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the air shows that I went to as a kid had a old Vietnam helicopter pilot doing demo rides in a helicopter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And my dad told him to take it easy for the ride. Which, of course, meant, just nap of the earth, pop over the trees.
So Dave says, wings over, you're going to have to, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Illawarra?
Australia's largest annual air show is held in Illawarra in the north-southwest south coast, just over an hour south of Sydney. All right. Oh, so yeah, Thunderbirds. Okay, yeah, Cliff comes back with Thunderbirds. Yeah, so they may have alternated, just like they have in at least air shows I've been to, Cliff. And David comes back with Wings Over Illawarra is Australia's largest annual air show.
He just reposted, or maybe the system double
yeah,
posted that.
Yeah, you know what? One earlier did too. Sorry about that, folks. I thought it was a new original post. All right, So what else you got for us? That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture. That looks like Thunderbirds to me, but it might be some other group too. But Northern Thunder Air and Space Expo, June 18. So that one's nice. Not too far away.
And that's where?
Grand Forks Air Force Base.
Yeah, I wish they would put more information because they all assume. Well, Of course, if you're local, you know it. And David did have something. So while you're looking, let's look at this. Its diverse program includes ground displays and flying demonstrations of historic, military, modern, and aerobatic aircraft and other aviation and technology-related exhibits. Yeah, we've seen that kind of stuff here too. That's cool.
Well, that's not site map, not map of. Okay, contact us. If they have an address, that'll tell us what state they're in.
So I see the Air Force logo.
No, it's just a Okay, here we go. North Dakota.
North Dakota. All right.
So the Dakotas seem to be fairly well represented with air shows. I guess they got to get people there somehow.
That's okay.
Yeah. And this isn't actually an air and space show. This is just on space, what they're calling Space Coast, which means it's near Kennedy.
And Dave has a comment. Your screen is very blurry, and so is the writing. Watch on YouTube. I'm not sure how to fix that. We've got the platform going. I don't know if it's a signal thing or.
Actually, scroll up.
Scroll up. What do you mean?
The comments. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, Paulo.
Yeah.
How does the image look to you? Because I'm wondering.
Too, he's in a different place.
Yeah, and you guys are in different places, but we're not. But Paulo isn't going over the Pacific.
That's true.
Yeah, and another thought, Dave. How does this look? With the camera instead of sharing screen, does that look like it's blurry, or is it? Are you getting everything blurry, or just the shared screen?
He said the writing was too, so.
Okay.
Let us know.
Yep. Okay. So, go back here. This one's already passed, but, and actually, no.
Nope, it's coming.
It's coming real soon.
21, 22, that's like next week.
Yep, next week.
Next weekend.
So, anyone who's in Florida next weekend, there you go.
All right. Yeah, summer seems to be kind of they're more prevalent. Air shows are more prevalent.
Orlando in October. I think they're getting a bit of weather in or in October, but in Florida. But I don't know.
The hurricane season's kind of in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
And again, nice Thunderbirds. Yep, and they actually say Thunderbirds there, so that's what the Thunderbirds are.
Yeah, I always love to see those.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting close to rockets.
Yep. Okay, and calendars.
Want to take a comment before that?
Sure.
So Cliff comes back with, saw an F-111 at top speed fly only 20 feet off the runway. Ooh, standing only 100 meters away. Wow, sounded like a knife slicing through the air. Then the roar as it went by, thousands lined up. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. I hear you, Cliff. It's a thrill. I love it.
Yep. So, here's one is just airshowstuff.com. And they've got a whole bunch. They're showing the canceleds, which is good.
And yeah, that's hard to update things like that.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know.
And I was definitely looking for international shows, but all of these are U.S. But just look. I mean,
so they've got to have a list of some that are in other countries, like Australia.
Yeah.
But a truly international one would be really helpful, I think.
Yeah. But heck, this is just June here, and look at how many there are.
Oh, wow.
So chances are, if you're in the U.S., you can find one somewhat near you sometime during the year. Oh, what's that?
Dave asks, are there distance regulations of how close aircraft can fly near crowds? I don't know that. Do you know that, Jeff?
Without special dispensation, it's 1,000 feet minimum distance over a city, and 500 feet near an airport.
Okay.
Now, if you're in the pattern, you can be lower, but just near the airport, you can be up to down to 500 feet. But any city minimum is 1,000 feet.
And do a little background for that, because Jeff, his family, they've been involved.
Yeah, well,
tell a little bit of your story at least.
Well, my dad's been a pilot for a lot, since I was 8 years old, and then we used to fly all over the country, and then he owned a business at Fullerton Airport. So, an FBO, for those few of you who actually know what that means, fixed base operation is basically one of the businesses that fuels airplanes, repairs them, sells airplanes, gives flying lessons, all that.
There's some funny stories I remember too from.
Yeah.
And you flew too.
Oh yeah. Well, flying lessons were the right price.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Although I found out that I am really not suited for being a pilot. So I let someone else do that now. If I'm going to sit there not doing anything for 45 minutes,
you'd rather read.
I'd rather read.
So let's see. We got a couple more here. Dave says, I remember doing a story on shows. 52% of civil air show crashes that occurred from 93 to 2013 involved at least one fatality.
Mm-hmm. And often the pilot, because the pilot's going to stay there in that airplane to steer it as far away from a crowd as they can. I mean, that's often what happens, is that they'll stay with it to put it in dirt instead of into people.
And Cliff says, not 20 years ago. What's the reference? I'm not sure what the distance. Okay, tell us more, Cliff.
Yeah,
please.
So I have some background and know a lot of the rules and stuff like that.
And I just love going to air shows.
Yeah.
Air and space shows.
And just another trivia fact is, whenever they say that two airplanes had a near miss, air is big, okay? If they say it's a near miss, it means they got closer than half a mile to each other, okay? Just think about that. That's a near miss. If you can see the other aircraft, they pretty much consider it a near miss, unless you're in a flight pattern, which is much more controlled. distance from. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, flying is much safer than a lot of people are worried about. And
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very safe. I mean, when you stop hearing about crashes in the news, that's when it gets to be an issue.
Mhm.
I mean, how many car crashes do you hear about in the news? Not very many. Plane crashes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what else do you have for us, Jeff?
Just a few more. A few more lists. The Airshow Network.com. Again, a lot of these will overlap between each other, but there's always some non-overlap. And this one actually has a Canadian list.
Oh, very cool.
So
I thought one of them had the European list too.
no.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you the international one. But
okay.
Here we go. So the Canadian one is a bit sparser, but hey,
Canada's big.
It's big, but
not very many people in it.
But the people are pretty much concentrated in small portions of it. So
yeah. We do have more comments. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Concorde and B-52 crashed.
At Oshkosh, yeah.
No, oh, is that Oshkosh? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. David says lunar eclipse 85 minutes duration. Oh yes, that's oh shoot, that didn't make my list. Thank you for reminding me. That's the 15th, isn't it? May the 15th? Just a couple of days from now. David, if you have more information, please. Hey, Daniel, welcome. And let's see, you are saying those type formations make me nervous. What about unexpected wind shear, etc.? Oh, those guys are pros, though.
Yeah, they train a lot.
So they know what to expect, I think.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, yeah,
and
they get inches and inches. And quite frankly, they're so close together that wind shear will affect all of them at the same time. I mean, you might see them all drop about 3 feet at once because.
Got it. Yeah, Dave says he's still having problems. None of the image in text is readable.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah, it looks clear to me.
Daniel, how does it look to you?
Oh yeah, good question. But Daniel's just like down the street from us.
Well, that'll see whether it's coming from us or if it's going over the wire.
Yeah, got it.
Because Daniel's like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
And
the replay might look better.
Yeah. And
Daniel says it's clear here.
Okay, so it must just be getting to you. So let me read off.
Sorry, Dave, and thank you, Daniel.
Let me read off these. And when we're done, I'll put the URLs in comments just so that you can look up these air show schedules.
Oh yeah, they'll
yourself.
certainly be easier to read from your own platform.
Yeah.
So.
And then again, this is another. This was billed as international air show calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all in the U.S., so it's not very international. So
well, maybe they're hoping to be, and
they
still have yet to.
I guess they're doing there's an Ontario. So it just became international.
Okay.
They popped over the border.
Well, that's how a lot of these go. We have one out of the country. Let's call it international now.
I've seen 3.
It has a cachet.
4 in 3 in Canada so far.
They really need the Australian ones, right, Dave and Cliff?
Yeah, maybe some European because there's a bunch of Europeans too.
Oh, and Cliff has a suggestion. Check your settings. It's most likely on 240p.
Yeah, I know that we're not transmitting at that.
I hope that helps, Dave. Lunar eclipse, 85 minutes duration, full phase for 0400 general GMT Eastern Time, 10:28 p.m. Full 11:30. Awesome! Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave that up there for a minute or two for people. I really appreciate that. I did forget about it. It should be on my list, but.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it for that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we want to know about any of them in your neck of the woods, and if you have a favorite, if you've been to them, what you like about them. I really like the display booths too. You can certainly see all the acrobatic, all the things that are flying around and sitting around. But then they have the display booths. I remember at the Berkeley Lakefront Airport, we would go to look at the NASA displays. And, there's definitely space involved with that. I mean, it's not just for airplanes anymore. So
Yeah, May 15th, 16th.
Here we go. Thank you, David. First total lunar eclipse of 2022, May 15th to 16th. Be visible. Total phase from portions of the Americas, Antarctica, Europe, Africa, and the East Pacific. Thanks for your help, Dave.
And I think by Americas, I think he means South Americas, because I don't think we'll see it up here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, let's see. This is the lunar, though. Yeah, we might. Oh, and the little clog on the picture screen. Yeah. What?
Basically, he's saying that's where the settings are for.
Oh, got it. Okay.
For it.
All right. Cool. Thank you all for your help. I really appreciate that. All right. So I do have some stellar events for this week. Thanks, Dave, for reminding us about the one, because it didn't make this list. That's going to be May 13th through the 20th. Is it?
So if you don't have any information on it.
No, it's not on there. Let's go. Here, Daniel. Partial here. Yeah, partial. And Paulo. All right. Will be great to see. Yes, it's going to be pretty good there. It's going
to be pretty good in your neck of the woods down there.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so from May 13th through 20th, May 16th is the full flower moon, and it says eclipse, but it doesn't have information. There it is. Okay, thank you. I didn't see it. May 17th, Venus and Neptune are in conjunction. May 18th is the weekly space hangout. They're bringing exoplanets into focus bit by bit with Alex Madurowicz. I probably said that wrong. Sorry. And then we're back to our show on May the 20th. And I'm going to take over, and I want to introduce something new. I want to profile some interesting, and I say space people, but this is, space exploration, astronomy, science, that kind of thing. And also, that is Pluto and the Moon are in conjunction. And a special note, the Tau Herculid meteors in May might be intense. This is a heads up. I got this from Earth Sky News on March 29th. Intense meteor shower, active sun. In late May, we might have a brief but intense meteor shower thanks to a comet that split apart in 1995 and is apparently still fragmenting. The comet is 73P/Swashman-Wachman, aka SW3, much easier to say. The meteor shower is the Tau Herculids. And I do have more information. If you would like me to forward that to you, just let me know. I'll send it to you somehow. We are still taking nominations for the Everyday Spacer of the Year, and this is 2021 award. This is a great time to get people excited about going to space. Like many regular folks, fly on planes now. And we're thinking that flights on spaceships seem to be following a similar path. And, kind of broad strokes. There were barnstormers, then the rich people went up. And now we have airlines, of course, very broad strokes. Maybe we're in the middle of that process. So we're going to have an award, and we want more nominations. We do have some already. We're looking for more categories. Broadly, we're looking at space exploration, science, and astronomy. Should we have other subcategories within those? We could use some more committee members to help us figure out the winners. We do have some already. And we got some more comments, I noticed.
Yeah. Cliff is having his own conversation there. I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, he's probably looking at my pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. And
yes, I'm growing things.
Yep, your little garden. Yep. Okay, that makes more sense now that he's talking about that, because
marigolds and lettuce and radishes and tomatoes
so it was settings on.
Oh,
on
yay!
David's,
that helped Dave.
And
good.
Yeah, you can see the hair in my nose. Well. It's
Sorry
it's a
about
good thing I style it. You know how hard it is to get hair gel in there?
They must be able to see them on YouTube, because he's saying, good one, Dave.
Yeah. Well, they're both on YouTube. So
yeah, I
they're
see
seeing
that.
Each other's comments.
All righty.
Okay. Oh, ongoing events and activities.
Oh, and I have some links.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, yes, that's right. Distract me more. That'll help speed things up.
It's part of my job.
Okay. Space. It's at spaceprize.org, as you can see. Launching June 2022. Space Prize Global is a worldwide contest to promote the advancement of women in STEAM, specifically in aerospace. Open to 15 to 18-year-old women worldwide. The contest features a combination of written, video, and creative submissions. 2 grand prize winners will each receive $250,000 of private astronaut experiences.
And I went back to the page and I'm reading. They're going to have a flight on one of the first space perspective flights, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that before. I don't know if this is new, if I missed it before, that kind of thing. But that's probably part of where the 250,000 is coming from, because space perspective could be a pretty expensive flight.
Yeah. We have from Daniel. When NASA can reuse a booster, they should get an award.
Well, we're everyday spacer. We're talking about regular folks, but thank you for your input. I really appreciate that.
Well, they have to keep people employed in certain Congress
regular
critters,
folks,
districts. So
yeah, I think that's a different conversation.
And David,
hey, trivia, yay!
A mini air show was held in Australia in 1910.
Ooh.
And guess who flew the first airplane in Australia?
Well,
my guess would be maybe Amelia Earhart. And that's just a guess, not any knowledge. Just
does that fit the time frame? I'm not sure.
I think it does.
Yeah, see, we could talk about those kind of people too on their show. You got one more?
Oh, okay. Oh,
here.
Yeah. And fly your name around the moon.
It's still going.
Still going. They haven't launched that puppy yet. So
no, we checked.
So yeah.
Where's this one? It's here.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the link.
Yeah. Add your name to the Artemis 1 test flight of the Space Launch System rocket and the Orion spacecraft. And leave it to NASA to give something that long of a name.
That's okay.
Yeah. So Cliff had
more comments?
Yeah.
Yay. All right.
Marquette and Pamela Shovik.
Oh, Cliff knew. Okay. See, I don't recognize those names. Well, that's awesome. Very cool. All right. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Anyone else? We got more comments?
Nope, that's it.
We will continue to look for your comments.
David.
Awesome. Yeah, good.
Flying. An airplane was.
Escape all is Harry Houdini.
Really interesting.
He reassembled it there.
Well, he would have to. There was no airplane. There were no airplanes that could make it.
Okay.
From Europe to the U.S. really until
1910. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let alone to Australia, which is a bit of a longer haul.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. Okay. So we will continue to look for your comments. We really appreciate you all being here. Thanks. Shout out to Cliff and Daniel and Dave and Paolo. And did we have somebody else show up?
You mentioned Daniel, right?
I mentioned Daniel, I think. Yeah, Daniel, good.
Thank
you so much for being here, everyone. We really, really appreciate you coming and commenting so we can engage with you. We can talk to you. And we all learn more by it. Right? Okay, so I'm looking. I don't see any others. Thanks for that last bit, Dave. That was really cool. Harry Houdini.
I guess he escaped my memory.
Escaped our memories, yeah. All right. Oh, we got more. The Earth is the cradle of humanity. Yes. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky. You say it.
Now you got me messed up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tsiolkovsky. All right. We'll get it right one day. All right. If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, astronomy like that, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, May the 20th. I'm going to profile someone interesting. And, who would you like to learn about? Drop us a note in the chat or a message on Facebook, wherever you can reach us. And if it's related to space exploration, science, astronomy, we will queue them up for future shows. We want to know who you want to learn about. We're going to profile someone interesting. I have someone in mind if, in fact, we don't get any, suggestions. But
Well,
if you want to know about somebody, I will do
if-
some digging and we'll find out as much as we can.
If we don't get any suggestions in the next couple of days, I mean,
Yeah, I
Because
have
you
to
need
put it
time
together
to-
by Sunday.
right. Because otherwise, but we'll queue it up.
Yeah, we'll definitely queue it up. But yeah, I have someone in mind. If you haven't gotten to us by, like I say, Sunday, because what I do is I build our graphic for the show and then I post it out there on all the meetups, the Facebook page, gets the eventual notice, that kind of thing. But yeah, I generally am working on that like late Sunday.
Mhm.
All right, so I don't see any. Oh, here's another comment.
Buzz.
Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, we got one from Dave.
Yeah. Here we
Thanks,
go.
Dave.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. All right. Have a great week, folks. We'll see you on May the 20th. I'm going to profile someone interesting in the industry.
Yep. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye.